and welcome into On the Go. And boy, have we got a place for you to go. David Hepp, you are the CEO of WhiteWater. We have been out, Jack and I went to several functions out there, and very impressive. That is mind-boggling how that all works.
Yes.
But we were talking about, let us first talk about, it is a whitewater park, and there are only 3 like this?
Yes, yep.
Would you tell us just a little bit about it?
Sure. It is a man-made artificial whitewater park. So we're basically, if you think whitewater rafting up in the Smoky Mountains or Tennessee, we have built a whitewater channel system in a city. So it's a fully enclosed circuit. There's 2 whitewater channels. So we're basically pumping water about 22, 23 feet uphill, 12 million gallons of water. So it's a massive
That's a
pool.
lot of water.
We're pumping water uphill, and there's 2 different channels that are gravity fed. So it's designed to essentially, it kind of goes easy, get a little harder as you go down the one side, and then the other channel itself is a fair amount harder. So it's good class 2 to 3+4 whitewater, if that means anything. It's similar to maybe the Ocoee River in Tennessee.
Wow, okay.
And we've basically built it, in an urban setting with, you're riding a conveyor belt in your raft back to the top. So it kind of takes you're not riding on a bus for the shuttle. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and it also takes a lot of the travel out of it. So it is not a replacement for an outdoor experience, but it's certainly a perfect place to maybe experience something on the, whitewater rafting, whitewater kayaking, for the first time. Bringing it to an urban setting makes it much more accessible.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful, and there's a lovely restaurant there, and their food was extremely good. They have a new chef in, and very good. And it's fun just to sit out and watch the rafters. If it were me, if you had a wading pool, I'd be in the wading pool.
Yep.
But I had a ball watching the rafters. Go down.
It is a beautiful sight, like you said. I work there, and I'm there all the time, and the sunset is
gorgeous.
Incredible. Like we're starting to pick up now that we've opened. The people are coming out and hanging out and watching the sunset, having a beer, and realizing if you don't go whitewater rafting, it's still a great resource.
You don't have to go whitewater rafting to enjoy it. And let's get one thing clear. We've had a lot of questions about a $10 parking fee. That's not accurate. Explain that.
Correct. That was for the concert, like the initial event.
Okay.
So on the day-to-day basis, the park is free. It's open to the public. And it's basically you're paying if you're going whitewater rafting or participating in any activity, or if you're eating at the restaurant or getting a drink. So we're encouraging folks to come out, enjoy the lawn, walk your dog, ride your bike. And we've only been open 3-4 weeks now, and definitely folks are starting to figure it out. And they're walking in the morning or they're walking in the evening, bringing their dogs out. And I mean, it's a beautiful setting right along the Alabama River there. You got to kind of come see it.
And your next door neighbor is Maxwell Air Force Base. I love the fact that we have such great quality of life improvement for our military. That is wonderful. So.
Yeah, it is something special for sure. You mentioned there's 2 other facilities similar to it in the States. This one is the 3rd at this scale, and we're early, but what the other parks have seen is for sure an impact on the local community and how it's used and how people get outside and get active essentially. And you don't have to be a competitive athlete or anything like that. It's very approachable for sort of all levels of folks.
Well, and a great tourism attraction. But you're looking out for the local community. I love that. You're having something special, a special event for school?
Yeah, we are. We're going to do a back to school event the weekend of the 12th, 13th. I believe we're going to do it on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Sort of a back to school special. Anybody in the Montgomery County area. I want to say we're doing half off for the rafting piece for the day.
Oh, great.
Or for the 3 days, sorry. Just kind of to let everybody know we're here, and just to basically get folks out there, and we appreciate what the county and the city has done for us, so we want to give back as best we can.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Now, what are the specifications for being able to raft or kayak?
Pretty much,
age and size.
Rafting is open. You don't necessarily need any skills. We're doing a beginner rafting trip, which stays on the easier channel. You got to be 8 years old and over.
Okay.
To do the whole park, which is adventure rafting, where you go both channels, the smaller side and the big side. say small, big, but we call it the creek channel and the competition channel, 11 and up. So that's in the whitewater rafting side of things. Whitewater kayaking is a much more sort of specific sport. If you showed up with all your own gear, helmet, paddle, life jacket, skirt, you can come and do that. I don't want to say there's no age on it, but it's typically if you have your own gear, you're not 6 years old.
You know what you're doing.
You know what you're doing, and it's a skill specific, and you kind of know how to roll, how to successfully do a combat roll, we say in whitewater. And most folks in that's a niche population. We have several visitors from northern Alabama who are so excited on the park, especially now, summertime, when most rivers are kind of dry.
Right.
So the whitewater kayaking piece, it's much more niche. You have all your own stuff, and we do have if that's not for you, you don't have your own stuff, and you want to learn, we have a kayaking program. We have an instruction program. We just got started. We're looking, and I don't have any dates off the top of my head. We're going to do like an after-school program, probably starting in September, maybe 2 nights a week or 2 afternoons a week. Where kids, and that, like, a good age to learn how to whitewater kayak is typically, like 10 to 15, to 11 to 15. When kids are long enough, I guess, to, where they can hold the paddle, and so we're looking forward to doing that once we get into fall, and that's a great
good after-school activity for kids that's healthy. David, we're going to have you back next week, but remember now the weekend of the 13th, the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Tickets half price for.
Montgomery County residents. We're calling it a back to school.
Super special for all you residents. Thank you so much, and we'll talk more next week.
All right.
And thank you for being with us.